there, Sandra here from createinspain and Siser Juliet Beginners to Pro. I'm using Shortcuts a Lot version 6 and today I'm going to show you a tool which is sadly overlooked a lot of the time, and that is the Stencil Bridge. So if I go into the library and I pick a shape, so pick a heart shape. Now perhaps you want to make some inroads into something. If you're doing interlocking shapes, for example, this is quite handy. If I go to this and copy and paste, okay. So I've got these two, and if I want to interlock those in physical terms so that you've got one at 180 degrees to another. And the easy way of doing this is to go to the Stencil Bridge, which is down here, select how big you want your cut to be, and I've got 2 millimeters there. Then you can actually do a cut down here. But what you want to do is make sure that you know where you want to put the cut. So I'll put a guideline just there. Go to the Stencil Bridge, and on that guideline, make my cut like so. And then I would take another guideline and I will put it there. And I would do another cut from here, like that. So now we could actually interlock those two. That isn't what it's designed to do, but it's one way of getting that effect. And I'm going to get rid of my guidelines, clear guidelines. I have one heart, and if I have another heart, and I put that inside, like so, go to that, and put it in the center of my selection, and then go to Path Exclude. Now if I wanted to make this into a stencil, and I cut this out as it is, all you would get is that bigger heart. You would not get the little heart. And so what you need to do is to put a stencil bridge through. But if you do it at this size, when you resize it, if you wanted to have lots of little ones of these, when you resize it, that bridge is going to get smaller as well. So if you're going to do a really large design and then resize it, you want to make your stencil bridge relatively large. So I would possibly put it up to that size. And then come in here and do my stencil bridge. Now then, when I select this and I resize it, as you can see, my bridge is getting smaller along with my actual design cut. If you want to make sure you know exactly how big your bridge is, then you need to do it on the design when it is the size that you want it to be. So the other thing to use Stencil Bridge on is text. So we have some text, and I put in createinspain, like so. If I take the colour out of this, it will be useful because you'll be able to see how the text is actually made. Now in this particular case, I've got my separate letters just overlapping, and if I were to cut that like that, it would end up cutting in all little bits, which I wouldn't want. But that particular font isn't overly great for doing a stencil with. So let's go to the library and go to fonts and pick something a bit better. Maybe that one. Yeah, I think that would be a better one. I still have the overlapping letters, so I go to Path and Union. Now again, if you're going to cut this out as a stencil, make sure you know what size that you want it to cut, because the same thing applies to this as applied to that. Go to Zoom Selection. So now I can go to my stencil bridge, and if I do it off the lettering, I can see how big that's going to be in comparison to my letters. And I think I probably want that to come down a bit. So I'm down to 1 now, and yeah, that looks better to me. So the letters we are going to have difficulty with normally are the ones where you have loops in. So this E, for example, needs to have the bridge put through. The A needs to have the bridge put through. That S loop needs to have a bridge put through, as does the P. And then that A, and then we're fine. We could cut that out and it would be a stencil that would work. So there we have it. That is the Stencil Bridge. It's a funny thing to use. It takes a bit of getting used to, but it is a good idea to know how to use it. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Take care now.